Try to recall a recent day in your life. You woke up already rushing, eating breakfast while looking at your phone, then stepping outside only to get stuck in traffic with loud horns blaring and someone cutting in front of your car as if you were invisible. When you arrived at work, emails piled up, messages from family and friends appeared nonstop, and the news was filled with negativity. Just one unpleasant comment or a small incident could make you feel like you could not take anymore. Modern life keeps the mind constantly stretched tight like a string that can snap with just a light touch. But if you pay attention, even in the same situation, there are people who remain unusually calm. They do not shout, they do not panic, and they do not let emotions carry them away. They handle each task one at a time, speak slowly, and their eyes stay bright and clear. They were not born that way. They simply understand something that Stoic philosophy has repeated for thousands of years, that inside every person there is a place of peace that no circumstance can touch if we know how to return to it. This video will guide you through 10 lessons from Stoic philosophy that can help you stay calmer amid the pressures of life. These are not distant ideas, and they do not require you to quit your job or become someone else. On the contrary, they are very practical principles that you can apply while driving, working, debating with someone, or facing a personal challenge. If you often find yourself quick to anger, quick to worry, or easily pulled into things that do not matter, stay until the end of the video, because even one lesson may change the way you face everyday life. Lesson 1. Embrace what you can control. One of the most fundamental lessons in Stoic philosophy is the clear distinction between what you can control and what lies completely outside your reach. Epictetus said that people suffer because they try to control things that are not theirs to control. Only when you understand your true limits can you begin to find peace. In daily life, many things happen that you do not want. Someone behaves disrespectfully, a plan gets delayed, the weather changes, a criticism appears, or an unexpected situation disrupts your entire day. If you try to control these things, you will only become more exhausted. These are not things within your power to decide, yet you allow them to influence your emotions, your energy, and your mood. The Stoics choose a different approach. They focus entirely on the one thing they truly control, which is their thoughts, their choices, and their reactions. You cannot stop others from saying what they want to say, but you can choose how you receive it. You cannot change the outcome of something that has already happened, but you can choose how you face it. You cannot decide the direction of the wind, but you can adjust the sail of your own boat. When you begin practicing this principle, you will feel your mind become noticeably lighter. The things that once made you angry no longer have the same power. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as the one steering your own life. Calmness comes from accepting that you cannot control everything, but you can always control yourself. Lesson 2. The power of acceptance. Acceptance in Stoic philosophy is not giving up or surrendering to fate. It is looking directly at reality and stopping the habit of wasting energy fighting what cannot be changed. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that everything that happens in life is part of the natural flow. When you accept what is unavoidable, your mind naturally becomes lighter and clearer. In life, things do not always unfold the way we want. A chance slips away, someone leaves, a plan fails, or an unexpected event throws you into confusion. The natural reaction is to ask why, to resist, and to wish everything were different. But the more you resist, the more exhausted you become, because reality does not change just because you want it to. The Stoics accept what lies beyond their control so they can save their energy for what they can do. They do not deny sadness or pain, but they do not allow those emotions to trap them in stagnation. When you tell yourself that what has happened cannot be reversed, you are freeing your mind from a useless burden. Acceptance does not make the pain disappear, but it opens the door to calmness. When you stop fighting reality, you can focus on action. Instead of asking why it has to be you, you shift to what you need to do next. This shift helps you rise more quickly and see life with a steadier perspective. Acceptance does not make you weaker. On the contrary, it is a sign of courage and maturity because only strong people dare to face reality as it is. Lesson 3. Mindfulness, the art of staying in the present. Seneca once said that people suffer more from what they imagine than from what actually happens. This reveals a clear truth. Our minds are often pulled into the past to regret or thrown into the future to worry and rarely stay in the present moment. Because of this, even when life is not too bad, we still feel stressed and uneasy. Mindfulness in Stoic philosophy is the ability to bring the mind back to this moment right now. In modern life, it is very easy to lose mindfulness. We eat without knowing we are eating, drive without knowing where we just passed, work while the mind is worrying about something else. We sit next to loved ones while our hands are still holding the phone. Everything moves so quickly that the mind is always tired because it never truly stops. The Stoics practice mindfulness by observing what is happening without judgment. They pay attention to the breath, to emotions, to movement, and to the sounds around them. When you bring your mind back to the present, anxiety immediately decreases because anxiety always lives in the future. Regret also fades because regret belongs to the past. Just 1 minute of presence is enough to make your mind feel lighter. You can start with very small actions. When drinking water, notice its taste. When walking, pay attention to each step. When someone is speaking, truly listen instead of preparing your response. When working, focus only on the task at hand. These small actions are the threads that pull you back to calmness. Mindfulness does not make the problem disappear, but it helps you see the problem clearly and choose a wiser response. And when your mind is in the present moment, you will realize that peace has never left you. It has only been waiting for you to return to this moment. Lesson 4. Train your ability to rise after difficulties. The Stoics believe that hardship is not something to avoid, but something that helps us grow. Epictetus said that it is not the event that hurts us, but the meaning we attach to it. This is especially true in modern life where pressure can come from many directions. A failure at work, a broken relationship, hurt caused by someone close, or the feeling of not being good enough. These things can bring you down if you do not know how to rise again. Training your ability to bounce back does not mean pretending to be strong or denying your feelings. On the contrary, the Stoics allow themselves to fully feel sadness, disappointment, and even pain. But they do not let those emotions linger too long or stop them from moving forward. They see each challenge as a mental exercise. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, a person's inner strength grows through challenges that strike hard enough. One effective practice is to change the question you ask. Instead of asking why this is happening to you, ask what this situation is trying to teach you. This simple question is enough to shift the mind from a victim mindset to a proactive one. You no longer see yourself as someone being attacked by life, but as someone going through an essential test. What matters is that each time you rise after hardship, you become stronger. You gain more confidence in your ability to overcome. And as that confidence grows, you will face adversity with a rare calmness. Not because life becomes easier, but because you have become steadier within yourself. Lesson 5. You cannot control the situation, but you can always control your reaction. In every moment of life, there is a very small space that determines your entire peace. It is the space between what is happening and how you choose to respond. The Stoics consider this the only territory humans truly command. You cannot control what others say. You cannot control changes in the weather, delayed plans, someone's disrespectful behavior, or sudden unexpected problems. But you can completely control how you respond. In daily life, people usually react by instinct. When insulted, we immediately become angry. When misunderstood, we become defensive. When someone speaks wrongly about us, we feel the urge to prove and argue. But the Stoics understand that explosive instant reactions rarely represent our best selves. They come from momentary emotions rather than reason. And those very reactions make us lose the calm we could have kept. A key habit in Stoic philosophy is creating a brief pause before reacting. Just a few seconds of deep breathing is enough to separate you from anger and bring you back to clarity. In that pause, you can ask yourself whether this reaction will make you better. When you ask this question, you are no longer controlled by emotion, but become the one who chooses. When you know you always have the power to choose your response, you become less pulled into drama and unnecessary conflict. You no longer lose an entire day because of one unpleasant comment. You no longer allow others to control your mood. And this very self-mastery creates a powerful inner strength that helps you remain calm even when life around you is chaotic. Lesson 6. Limit excessive desires. Seneca once said that a truly rich person is not someone who has much, but someone who needs little. This statement seems simple, yet it touches one of the deepest causes of human restlessness. When our desires exceed our ability to fulfill them, our mind is always in a state of lack. And this sense of lack makes us easily irritated, easily disappointed, and unable to stay calm. In modern life, desires appear very quickly and in large numbers. You see someone more successful, wealthier, or more attractive, and you begin to wonder why you are not like that. Social media unintentionally fuels the constant feeling that you need more. You want more, yet never feel enough. This sense of insufficiency does not come from reality, but from constantly comparing your life to the most polished fragments of others. The Stoics see excessive desire as a shadow that constantly disrupts the mind. When you chase endless wants, you are forced to live in tension in order to achieve them. And once you achieve them, you want the next thing. The cycle never ends. In contrast, when you learn to limit desire, you begin to feel life becoming lighter. You start appreciating what you already have instead of grieving over what you have not achieved. To practice this, the Stoics often ask themselves two questions. First, do I really need this? Second, does it make my life better, or does it only make others think my life is better? These questions help you distinguish between true needs and temporary cravings. When you let go of unnecessary desires, your mind is no longer pulled between wanting and lacking. Limiting desire does not mean giving up joy. It is a way to protect your tranquility so your mind is not dragged around by endless wants. When you know what is enough, life naturally becomes more peaceful, and your heart can more easily find calmness within itself. Lesson 7. Live with virtue. In Stoic philosophy, virtue is not lofty words or perfect standards. Virtue simply means living in alignment with your own values. The Stoics believe that when your actions match your conscience and inner beliefs, your mind naturally becomes peaceful. On the other hand, when you do something against what you know is right, you will always feel uneasy, even if no one else knows. Calmness or distress is largely shaped by how honest you are in the way you live each day. The four foundational virtues of Stoicism are wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom helps you see the true nature of things instead of reacting emotionally. Courage helps you face difficult situations instead of avoiding them. Justice helps you act with kindness and integrity in all relationships. And temperance helps you maintain self-control in your words, actions, and desires. When you live according to these virtues, you no longer have to struggle with yourself. You do not need to hide, you do not need to justify, and you do not have to fear being exposed or judged. You know you have lived correctly, and that brings a kind of peace that no external condition can provide. A person who lives with integrity always carries a quiet stillness inside because they do not leave behind unresolved inner conflicts. Living with virtue also helps you become steadfast. When faced with a choice, you are not swayed by pressure or by the opinions of others. You ask whether it is right rather than whether it is easy or beneficial. This consistency builds a strong inner foundation that prevents you from being carried away by temporary emotions. Virtue does not make life less challenging, but it helps you become the most grounded version of yourself. And when you live rightly, you naturally feel at peace. Once your heart is at peace, you can remain calm no matter what happens. Lesson 8. Recognize that everything is temporary. Marcus Aurelius wrote that time is like a river. Everything flows continuously and no moment ever returns. The Stoics deeply understood that every joy, sorrow, success, and failure is only a short passage in the long journey of life. When you see the temporary nature of everything, it becomes easier to stay calm in the face of sudden changes. In life, many pains become heavier simply because we believe they will last forever. A criticism can trouble you for weeks. A failure can make you torture yourself for months. The end of a relationship can make you believe you will never feel joy again. But if you look back over the years, you will see that the things that once hurt you also faded over time. The truth is that no emotion, good or bad, lasts forever. The Stoics use impermanence as a reminder to live more lightly. When facing hardship, they know it is only a phase. When joy arrives, they appreciate it without clinging. When encountering loss, they allow themselves to feel sad but not to fall into despair. They understand that everything is simply a different chapter in the book of life. Recognizing impermanence does not make you pessimistic. On the contrary, it helps you cherish the present more deeply. You experience each moment more fully because you know it is precious, precisely because it does not last. And when you accept change as a natural part of life, you remain calm even when everything around you is shifting. Lesson 9. Cultivate gratitude. In Stoic philosophy, gratitude is considered a key that opens the door to inner peace. Seneca believed that when we are grateful, we see what we already have instead of focusing only on what we lack. This shift, though small, is powerful enough to change our entire emotional landscape and the way we face life. A grateful heart finds it hard to be angry, hard to be dissatisfied, and hard to lose its calm. In modern life, we often forget the most important things. We wake up each day in a body that still works, able to see, hear, speak, move, work, and love. Yet we treat all of this as ordinary. We have meals to enjoy, a home to return to, and people who care about us. Yet the mind is busy comparing itself to those who are richer, more talented, or more fortunate. This forgetfulness makes us feel lacking even when life is generous. The Stoics practice gratitude as a way to anchor the mind in what is real. They are grateful for ordinary days without turmoil. They are grateful for challenges because those challenges make them stronger. They are grateful for the people who have passed through their lives, even if only for a short time. Gratitude allows them to see life with softer and more compassionate eyes. A simple way to cultivate gratitude is to write down 3 things you appreciated during the day every evening. It might be a quiet moment, a kind word, or simply the feeling that you made it through a difficult day. When practiced consistently, you will begin to realize that happiness is not far away. It is present in the small things you already have every day. Lesson 10. Always keep learning and growing. In Stoic philosophy, life is seen as a long journey where every day is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Epictetus believed that strong people are not those who are perfect, but those who are always willing to learn. When you see yourself as someone improving little by little, you feel less pressure and blame yourself less when you make mistakes. In reality, many people lose their calm because they see mistakes as signs of failure. They fear judgment, fear trying something new, and fear doing things imperfectly. But the Stoics approach mistakes in a completely different way. They see mistakes as data, as information that helps them improve. A failed plan can teach you how to prepare better. An angry reaction can remind you to practice emotional control. A harsh criticism can reveal something you had not noticed. A learning mindset helps you stay calm because you no longer see challenges as threats. You see them as exercises. The harder the challenge, the bigger the lesson. When your mind shifts into learning mode, you no longer feel overwhelmed by pressure. You no longer feel the need to be perfect, and you no longer feel as if life is working against you. A simple way to train a learning mindset is to ask yourself every night what you could have done better today. Just that one question is enough to fine-tune yourself little by little. Day after day, you will notice yourself becoming calmer, steadier, and less affected by small things. A lifelong learner is never defeated because each time they fall, they rise again with a new lesson. This is what creates lasting inner peace. When you look back at the 10 lessons from Stoic philosophy, you will see that calmness is not a gift reserved for a few special people. It is a skill anyone can develop. Each lesson is a small brick, and when you stack them together, you build a solid foundation for inner peace. The most important thing to remember is that calmness comes from within, not from circumstances, not from other people, not from luck or success. It comes from the way you face life. A person who knows what they want, knows what belongs to them, knows what does not belong to them, knows when to act and when to let go, that is the person who is truly strong. And that strength cannot be taken away. Choose one of the 10 lessons that feels most relevant to you right now. It might be the lesson about reactions, or the lesson about mindfulness, or simply the habit of practicing gratitude every day. Apply it to one small situation in your life, then add another lesson and then another. you will notice a clear change in your mind. You will no longer be quick to anger, no longer quick to worry, and no longer feel as though life is always against you. Instead, you will become more proactive, steadier, and more at peace. If this video brought you value, please press like to support the channel. Leave a comment sharing which of the 10 lessons made you reflect the most. What you share may be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you want to continue exploring Stoic philosophy, do not forget to press subscribe so you will not miss upcoming videos. You deserve a more peaceful life, and everything begins today.